Over the last year, I've really learned to love shooting off of a tripod, and I absolutely love my T-3640-CM Studio Series tripod with the IB65 head. This is perfect for all of my guns that are going to use Arca rails, or if you're going to use it off of a clamp. But even though this is perfect for range use or match purposes, I've been told that perhaps this just might be a little too much tripod or a little bit heavy if you're going to go out there and you're going to go hunt. So Sunwayfoto has the answer. This is the brand new TL-2840-CC. So TL stands for twist lock as opposed to collar locks. 2840, so you have 28 millimeter wide tubes and 40 millimeter shims. So what we have here is, once again, it is a carbon fiber tripod where you're going to have 4 sections, 3 locks. Starts out at 28 millimeters, goes down to 19, and CC stands for center column. You are going to have a little bit of an adjustment. So everything folded together is just 20 inches. And at maximum expansion, it's going to go down to 8.9 inches, I believe, with the legs expanded. It's either 8.1 or 8.9. And everything fully extended up, it's going to be 56 inches. So it should be just fine for us. As with all Sunwayfoto tripods, you are going to have weather sealed legs, meaning whether you're going to have a collar or a twist lock, all of the sections, as you can kind of hear, the air whooshing in and out, it is weather sealed, meaning if you're using it in sandy environments or out in the rain, it is going to keep the elements out as much as you can, which is definitely something that's going to be conducive. I mean, well, we're not talking about studio, or we're not talking about photo and video equipment. We are going to be out and shooting in the outdoors. So let's open this up, and the biggest thing that you're going to see, and one of the reasons why I think a lot of newer shooters are going to love, it's super easy to deploy. Clasp, deploy, boom, boom, boom. So you're not going to have to worry about twisting and different motions. And I suppose also if you have arthritis, this is going to be a little bit easier for you as well, since it's one motion to open, pull out, lock, open, pull out, lock, open, pull out, lock. Twisting oftentimes, especially if it's a smaller one, is going to be a little bit more difficult. So here is the tripod fully deployed at the shortest angle. So as you can see here, and then here on top you would attach a ball head. So this tripod is going to come in a number of different ways. So the first one is going to be, the tripod is going to come as it is, and you would use it with your own existing head. Now, my thoughts on this would be, all right. So on the center column, you are going to have a cover, which I love keeping on here just so it doesn't rust. You are going to have a 3/8 screw. And if you're not using a firearm yet with Arca rail, you can actually just get one of these. So this is the SM86, and on the bottom you do have a screw mount hole. Screw it on. And now you have basically a tripod ready to go to use with any firearm you are going to have. And if you do graduate to using Arca rails, you'll be able to put on one of those Arca rail heads as well. But for somebody who's starting out with hunting or just going out to the range, I think this is going to be perfect. So when we have the tripod on here, then you do have, I'm actually going to turn it around. On this side, you do have this lock, and you have a center column, which you'll be able to raise another 4 inches. So definitely it's going to be able to get it at eye level. For an I am 5'8.5", 5'8.5" or 5'9". So a firearm here would be perfect to use. And this is going to be great also for teaching kids, because you can just lower this down to as low as you need it to do. So this is the Sunwayfoto TL-2840-CC, stands for center column. So let's mount this onto here and put some more rounds downrange. stupid fun. So we have our Ruger 1022 in a KRG chassis. So as we see, we have the TL-2840-CC tripod with the SM86 mount. So a couple of things basically to keep in mind. One of the things that I wasn't 100% sure on is how I feel about a tripod with a center column. I believe that as long as it's a lighter recoiling rifle, such as this 22, or probably even something like up to a 308 or a 6.5, you shouldn't have any issues. If you can mount with an Arca rail, which is really going to hold it in here, and it's going to be something higher recoiling, I do think you might actually run into some issues because it's going to be putting a lot of pressure on here. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is this tripod. So right now it's at its highest extension, and I am still basically about an inch low on here. I'm still twisting my neck a little bit. So when it comes to tripods, I mean, generally what you want to do is make sure you bring the gun up to you instead of, I see way too many people leaning over like this. There's no reason to. You want to be able to bring it up if you can. There are instances where you do have to make a little bit of sacrifices. So I think if you're a shorter person, you're a shorter woman, or you're trying to use a tripod to teach children, this is going to be perfect. It's not a ton of money. It's going to be sturdy enough, and it's going to work well. You do have a bag hook on here, so you can attach a bag or weight. It's going to further help lower the center of gravity, and it's going to work really well. I also think if you're a hunter and you just need to have a shooting tripod that's going to work for you, this will actually work. And I mean, the thing to keep in mind about it, you do have a 35-pound load capacity on here, so it'll be able to hold the gun. The key concern possibly would be long term is if the gun is really clamped in here and you have a ton of recoil, it's basically where that's going to go. So also, like, basically when you're shooting, you have one leg forward, you're going to have two here, you're going to put a little pressure into it, you're going to let the gun recoil into you, and I think you are going to be just fine. So I don't have a ball head, and I actually just attached the SM86 on here directly. So you can basically use this as a platform and just tighten the gun for elevation or angles. If you are going to be running it primarily with just Arca, I do recommend using a ball head of some sorts in here. That's going to give you a little bit higher elevation, and then you'll be able to have a lot more adjustment on there. So the TL-2840-CC, definitely a very, very solid tripod in case you need something that's going to be very lightweight. Or you're not going to be super too tall. This is going to work well. If you can spend an extra couple $100, I do recommend the T3640. They also do have, I believe, is the TL3240, which is also a very, very nice tripod. It's going to be a little bit thicker. So if you don't mind the weight, I think it's going to be good. But if you want something lightweight, this is definitely going to be a pretty decent tripod. Once again, I think if you have kids, this is going to be awesome. And I think just as it is, with a 22, with a suppressor, this is just a joy. So that is the brand new TL-2840-CC by Sunwayfoto. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you have questions, or let me know what you think. Is this something that's going to be a good setup for you? How would you possibly change things up? Definitely do let me know, and I look forward to having those questions and discussions. And as always, thank you for watching. Keep on squatting, and I'll see you in the next video linked up here.